Network. I'm your host, Kingtif. How we doing? We are back. And we have somebody amazing, somebody I've been getting to know. This is a new friendship, I would say.
Yes.
But it's a good one because we're both trying to do things and we're both new at it. So it's definitely having someone around that's in the mode, in the motion, keeps you energized. So I appreciate this one. I have Miss Erin, the Gap Tooth Diva.
Hey everybody.
In the building today. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. You nervous?
A little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little. But you know, the blood's rushing, you know, the lights is on.
But like you said, it's been pretty comfortable going through the motions.
Absolutely.
Yes, together.
Absolutely. Oh, okay. So, where we want to start? Well, we met on the set of a music video.
Yes.
That we have not seen yet.
Yes. But it's going to come out.
But it may come out by the time we get this one out.
And
I'll take a long time too.
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
It was fun. Actually, I've done some acting. Well, of course I've done some acting, but I've never been on a music video before. And the environment was different. And then seeing somebody that does primarily music get the opportunity to act out different scenes in their video. It's impressive because they're trying to think about the lyrics of their song and then also
the motions of
acting. Yeah. So shout out to her. She did a great job.
Yeah, she did, and she really put it together well. The whole cast. Shout out my boy Andrew for getting me on there. Yeah, I'm so excited for it. That's why I can't wait for it. You know?
And I got to do it with my niece, so that was
awesome.
Yeah.
Was that her first time?
Yeah, it was.
Like
so
that?
I know she was excited about that.
That's awesome. Introducing your family to this life.
Yeah.
Early though,
Yeah.
she's like younger.
Yeah, she is younger. She's 13, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Oof. So she's got a lot of time.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm old now. Oh my gosh. Hold on. It just hit me. Sorry.
I feel young as ever.
You feel young as ever?
Yeah.
That's good. That's the type of energy I need. Okay. So, let's start with your story. How did you get into acting and all of those?
So actually, it kind of happened. Okay, so I had a friend in college, and we did group projects and things like that together. So she hit me up, and it was a random text message that was like, "If you want to be in a movie, text this number." And I'm like, is this spam?
What?
But
That's dope.
But I was like, because we had worked together before, and I like trusted her with my grades, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just hit this number up because I've always wanted to be in a movie.
Right.
So it ended up being background for the movie White Boy Rick that was filmed here in 2016. And then I got there and there was a bunch of people there. So I'm like, how did y'all get here? Because I got this random text message.
Yeah.
And they kind of told me the database to sign up for. And I did some background work. Fast forward to 2019, and I had the opportunity to be a poor Black Panther on the set of Judas and the Black Messiah.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really fun, and it allowed me to be on set.
Too.
Yeah, it was.
Jeez, that's $100 million movie. Well, they made $100 million.
So I did background in it, right?
That's amazing.
And but I was on set more often than I was for anything else I had done in the past. And I fell in love with being on set. So 2021 came and I was very committed because I missed being on set.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to commit myself to acting now and everything that this industry kind of entails. So
absolutely.
That's what happened with that.
So, okay, so you're on the set of this huge movie. Did you know when you were on that set that it was going to be that, like this story is going to hit like it hit?
I would say yes, and I wasn't sure, but I'm not even being dramatic about it. The energy on the set was so different, and I don't know if it was because I had been there more frequently again than any other set, because I would do like an extra for one day and then peace out and then wait for the movie to come out. But this one, I was on set more frequently, and it was a different energy, and the way that you could just hear a lot of the people that were involved, like the producers and just the actors, how they would talk about it. And I got excited, just being background. I just got so excited about the project. And I was like, this project is going to be really big. Because I was just like, oh yeah, I get to be a quarterback Panther.
Yeah.
And then this happens, and I was like, oh wow. And I would say, like, it kind of, well, it definitely changed the way that I started to see my life. And
Really?
yeah, it was very impactful for me on a personal level.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what movies are supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So that's amazing that it happened even before the movie even came out.
The movie moves me.
Right. To Diva.
Yes.
When did you claim the diva?
The diva side of me. I always knew it internally.
Internally?
But then I had to promulgate it to the world.
Okay. Big words out here. We are in a different zone right now, okay? I'm not going to try to re-say that word. But that's dope. Yeah. Okay. So, always kind of been a diva at heart.
Always a diva at heart.
But then you let it out.
I let it out.
When did you let it out?
It was a slow progression.
Okay.
You know? And then it was just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe over the last 5 years, I've started introducing her to the world.
So this is kind of newer for you.
Yes.
This whole thing is new.
This whole thing is new.
And you're doing it so well.
Thank
you. That's what's blowing my mind right now.
Thank you.
The fact of how, like, when you present yourself like very professional. Like you've been doing this. Like you know what you're doing. And then you'll ask me like, I don't know, but like, and then it's like, okay, no, we're good. Because she knows what I know too. But then it's like, she also has this calmness about it, like I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah, I do feel like that.
Yeah?
I do feel like that, and sometimes when you think about it, it's just not scary because it's like you said, like I feel like I'm supposed to be here. I don't know what the journey will look like,
right.
But I know that I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing, and I'm supposed to be here. So
absolutely. I feel the same way.
I know. I can feel that. And we talked about it. So like I know. Like
that's a fact. That's
supposed to be here.
That's a fact. That's dope.
So that's what encourages the calm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. When you know you're working in your purpose.
Yeah.
You just like, well, whatever happens is supposed to happen like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
So when did you create the Gap to Diva production?
I created that pretty recently.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of just like I knew that I wanted it to be more than just me acting. And then I've wanted to tell stories. I used to make up stories all the time, but I just never told anybody the stories that I made up, and I never wrote them down. So it was more so like
imagination, though.
Yes, my mom, Little Bill. Do you remember the show Little Bill?
I love Little Bill.
And do you remember it was the scene was like, Little Bill, who are you talking to? Yes. Okay, that would happen to me. My mom would be like, who are you talking to?
Really?
Because I would tell myself stories.
The whole
like,
story.
Yes. So if I was like cleaning up, I would like tell myself stories while I was doing that.
Really?
But I never wrote them down.
Why not?
I didn't think anybody would want to hear my stories. So I just wrote them for my own, or I made them up for my own entertainment, entertainment and amusement. So
absolutely.
That's kind of what happened. But then the production company came when I just realized that I wanted more from acting. So that's when it happened.
So we're gonna get into this kind of this short that you put out.
I know you got a thing we don't do, but I just couldn't wait another week and do nothing.
You ordered the salad?
Yeah. Thank you.
I am so sorry. I seem to have forgotten the dressing.
Oh, it's okay. She doesn't eat dressing on her salad.
That was by far one of the best shorts I've seen.
Thank you.
By a startup and by some professionals. Don't get that twisted at all.
Thank you.
Like, the story itself is good.
Thank
you know? And that sometimes is missing in a lot of, like, short films, and a lot of, it's just not developed well to me. But yours, and I am not gassing this has a true, like wow, like I could rewatch this and still get more from it.
Wow, thank you.
You know?
Yeah.
And you gotta have that. So, you create this short called Salad Dressing. Kind of tell us what that process was like for you. Because you wrote, directed, starred, produced. I mean, the hats you wore on this.
Yeah. So I did do those things, but I cannot take sole credit for that. I'll take it back from the start. So what happened was I have a group of friends that are also actors. They're also in this industry, and we kind of came together. A lot of us we met on the set of Judas and the Black Messiah.
Wow, okay.
And then so we formed those connections. That's why I said that production was bigger than just being an extra. I met some of, I would say, the people that I'm closest to. A lot of them, yeah. We actually have great bonds. But I met them, including Rachel Amir and Kiko Kent, and who else did I meet on that set? Those two I know for a fact that I met on that set. And Rachel Amir, she actually introduced me to someone, TZ on the Couch.
Okay.
TZ on the Couch. She introduced me, and I started doing a production with her, where I met Dono Nolan, and then I also met Von Robinson, and a plethora of other people. But we met on that set. Also on the set of Judas and the Black Messiah, I met Jada Simmons, and then some of the people that they lended themselves to be extras on the set of Judas, salad dressing.
Yeah, okay.
Including Brian Laus. So I want to make sure that I hit all my people, because I appreciate them and I love them.
For sure.
So I can't forget about them. So we met, and we were working on production together, but then we've been auditioning for different things. And we always said like we wanted to do other projects together. So we kind of didn't know, but we was like, well, we need real footage, and we just know that we want to shoot something. So it was like one morning I was talking to Von, and Von, we were just kind of talking about different things that we want to do. And I was like, well, I like love stories. I love love stories. I actually asked this story one time in my my Instagram story if people thought I was like, about love, or if I was like stuck for love. So it's kind of an in-between, but when it comes to like movies and the productions that I want to watch, it's more than likely a love story. I like action, but I like the love component of stories.
Absolutely.
So, I was talking to him, and I was kind of telling him like this idea, and I was like, you know what, I'm about to write something. So I get off the phone with him, and I literally start writing something. Salad Dressing was written in 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, it was. It was written in 2 hours because I was like, we need something. I want to write something. Kind of just started writing all of my ideas down. And then when I was done, I actually made it like, you cannot eat until you finish this.
No way.
So I just wrote everything that I could possibly think about, and then I put it in order, put some dialogue to it, and I was like, okay. And then I called him back, and I was like, what do you think? So, and then I started sending out to the different people. So the parts in Salad Dressing, they were actually written for people that I already knew.
Okay.
So the casting process
so it was definitely easier.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, and it flowed because I wanted to. Well, we always want to challenge ourselves, but at the same time, when I was writing it, I was thinking like, oh, so and so could play this role. So I think it was probably easier writing that because I could picture them, the actual person that would play this role, doing the dialogue that I had for them. So I just had to confirm that they were down to go. Over the course of 2 weeks, then we got together and we did it.
Okay, so you were talking about the whole process, and you wrote the script for the specific people in the roles, so it was kind of easier for casting.
Yeah.
How did you get the crew together?
Oh, so that is a very interesting story. So our DP, our camera guy, and our editor, I actually met him driving down the street one day. So
look at God.
So he had a camera, and he's standing. He's on Kinsman, and he's a train guy. So he's watching trains, but I see these two guys just with a camera, and I'm okay. So they're standing there, and I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to know them, and it was just very random for them to be there.
Yeah.
So I turned the car around because I drive past them and it was like, no, you're supposed to know them. So I was like, okay. So I turned the car around and I turned around again so I could end up on the same
wow.
where they were.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, are you making a movie? And then he explains to me what he's doing. He thought I was like the police or something.
Really?
And I was like, no, I'm not the police. So we like exchanged Instagram information. And then we started conversing from there.
Mm-hmm.
And we planned to do something this summer, but so we just kind of kept in touch very leisurely.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I wrote it, I was like, I need a camera person. I was like, oh, the guy on the side of the street. His name is Paul Springowski.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Paul.
Because he really shot that well.
He did. So I met him, then I hit him up, and I'm like, I got something. So he was like, yeah, send me over a script. So I sent him over the script, and he read over it, and he was like, I love it. Like, let's do it. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So then I'm like, I don't have all these other people, because he told me he didn't have lights. So I was looking for a lighting guy, and then he said that he could use a little extra help with sound because he had experience with it, but he didn't have he had more information and knowledge when it came to like the actual film component. And then I actually have a mentor who does things in film, but I met him when I was doing I went to school for aviation, so I met him when I was doing aviation. He was my aviation mentor, and now he jumped in and he started being my mentor, I guess, with film as well. And his name is Clarence Gilmore, so I have great respect for him as a person because he has always looked out for me in a professional way for all my professional endeavors. So yeah, I'm really grateful for him. So I hit him up. I'm like, hey, do you mind doing the sound? He was like, anything you need, I got you. And then he was like, I got the food, whatever you need on set, I got you. Right. When I tell you my mentor is great, my mentor is great.
That's hard.
Yes.
How many days of shooting did you have? Overall, because it was like good.
We shot. No, you're fine. We shot in one day, and then I watched it. I wasn't completely happy with it, so then we shot again.
Okay. We shot the whole thing?
No, we shot
just parts.
Just the first part of it.
Okay.
I saw something different aesthetically in my head that didn't translate over on.
That is so tough.
In the
post-production part.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it didn't translate. I needed more color. So the place that we shot initially, the walls were pretty bare, and I wanted more. So actually, a good friend of mine, she lended a space that she had. Brianna Whitlock. With the H, I want to make sure, because with the H, she lended a space to us for us to be able to film, and I was grateful for her for doing that. But really quickly on the production side, so I didn't have a lighting guy. So the way, I just want to make sure that I really spell out the way that this happened, because it was like magical.
Absolutely.
I didn't have a lighting guy, and I put a post out on Instagram. And that's when I came across Joshua Curry. He said, okay, I'm down. I was like, really? He was like, yeah, like I do lightings, anything else you need. I'm like, on this project, I just need lights. And he did a great job with lighting. A lot of those blues and reds. It took time to do that because, again, this was the first time us working together, this whole crew.
Yeah.
I would say that almost everybody, besides the projects that we had done before, the crew, they were strangers to each other.
Yeah.
They did not know each other. So it took a little getting used to, but we were still able to do that. But all of those blue lights and the gels that he used, that was him with the assistance of Erin the comedic.
Yeah.
He also helped. Isaiah Burns. He helped with lighting. And actually his business partner, he was ready to help too.
Really?
But his schedule just didn't line up. But I really did have like great help from a lot of people, including my family, my sister, my brother, and then my spiritual family. So it was great. Like I know I'm giving a lot of shout outs, but I couldn't have done it without them.
Absolutely.
You know, I could not have done it without them.
Absolutely.
So
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
There was something you said that I wanted to touch on. Was it post-production parts? Okay. Post-production. So you didn't like what you seen the first day. So you had to do a reshoot. How was it getting everybody back on set?
So it was, when I say I have supportive people around me, I really appreciate that. So a little bit of scheduling conflict, but ultimately it worked out and everybody came through. It wasn't the restaurant scene. For anybody that has watched it, it wasn't the restaurant scene. But it was the first scene. I wanted to reshoot that for aesthetic purposes, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, whenever you need us, just let us know." So that did take a little, like, within a week time span. It was just trying to make sure that we did have exactly what we wanted, but everybody was very cooperative and helpful, and I love the people I work with. I really do.
That's
awesome.
Like,
just thinking about it, I'm really grateful for them.
Yeah.
Including one of my best friends, Erin Reynolds. She came. She was an extra. And then Michaela, she actually came, and she was like, I want to make sure that I'm here and I'm ready to go. So Michaela, she came from Akron, and she was an extra too. So I was grateful for everybody that was part of it.
That's awesome. So you shot this in 2020? Or early 21?
2021.
2021, okay.
Yeah.
Was it hard to get locations? Because I know you had the friend who helped you on the reshoot day. Was it hard to originally get locations?
To get locations. So I'm actually so happy you asked me about that.
So I got these notes today.
So, yes and no. I actually reached out to one friend of mine that had a restaurant, and they kind of ghosted me. Like,
really?
Yeah, they kind of ghosted me. So, but it actually worked out great because Brian, DJ Shake, he Brian from also his stage name is DJ Shake. Sorry if I put your name out there. But DJ Shake, he has great connections with networks. I believe it's a family situation for him.
Wow.
And he also played the host. So
shout out to him. Yeah.
Yes. He was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Like, y'all can use the restaurant and make it happen. So when I say great people, DJ Shake came through, and I actually met him on the set of Judas and the Black Messiah.
Wow.
And he's a friend. He's a friend of mine, closely a close friend. Well, actually, he's connected to a close friend of mine. So that allowed me to be able to reach out to him. So I was very grateful for that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Post-production. How long overall from start to finish did it take?
Start to finish. Let's see. I don't remember the exact time frame. I just recall because Paul was actually finishing up school. So that was and doing the reshoot. So we had the final edit of the first one. And that's the one that I didn't love. It wasn't the one that spoke to my soul.
Yeah.
So that actually took the editing of that took like maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that was just more so him trying to balance out his schoolwork and then also getting the production done.
Yeah.
So then once I saw it, I didn't love it, but we it was nothing on his end. It was just not what I saw, you know. So that's when I wanted to do the reshoots, scheduling that, and then we shot it in early April. So just to kind of give you an overall timeline, we shot it in early April, but it came out. We were able to put it out in, I believe, early June. But all of that was not filming. It was just more so like scheduling, reshooting,
the whole process.
Yeah.
That's. Shooting is just one of many, of many things you got to do to get something actually out.
But the post-production, I would say that everybody put lots of energy in.
How much were you a part of the, because you got to see the final version and then got to make your adjustments and things like that. So how much after that were you kind of involved?
So I do not have editing skills.
Right.
I'm looking to develop now.
Absolutely. It's just important. Yeah,
and just point. Seeing it.
Yeah.
It's just like there's so much that goes into it. Like so much that goes into it.
And you can learn something every day.
Every day. So I was not heavily involved in the editing process because I didn't have the knowledge. It was kind of
Okay.
more so like I want this to kind of look like this, and he was like, kind of like, trust me with the footage. I think that we had great shots. I wasn't the DP, but he would set up a shot, give me the opportunity to look at it because again I was directing and acting in it. So I would look at it.
Give me 1 second. What is a DP for the people who may not know?
Oh,
Just in case.
the director of photography.
Gotcha. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
Yes, you did. But he would set it up, and then we would kind of talk about it. If I didn't really like it, like minor adjustments, but really not too much. He would come up with pretty cool angles.
Okay.
So that allowed us to work well on set. So it allowed me to trust his editing that much more because I was able to kind of see what we shot. And you
The
can't
shots
pull
look like,
something
yeah,
out
yeah.
of thin air.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, editing is magic.
Absolutely.
But so since I
But
was
shots
able
are
to see
so important.
yeah, and he did a great
man.
job on that. So that allowed me to kind of rest easy with his editing. And I've also seen some of his other work. He does a lot of trains, so I was able to see that. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna trust it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Directing, kind of backtracking a little bit. How was that day, 2 days of being a actor and a director?
It was interesting. Again, a lot of the stuff that I did on that set, I'd never done it before.
Right.
So directing, I learned a lot about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot about the way that it's not even just like the tone and what you talk to people, but it's more so like what you really want to articulate to somebody. Like, I have this vision in my head and I want you to be able to do this. And I learned that that sometimes you're saying stuff to people and you're like, I feel like they're supposed to know what I'm saying, but they have no idea.
They have
what
no
you see
idea.
in your
Yeah,
head.
absolutely.
And but we're very patient with each other, and I love that. I love that we're very patient with each other, and we want to see each other succeed.
Yeah.
So that also shows up in our work. But I would try to think of the best way that I'm like, okay, yes, I want it like this, I want it like that. I want you to say it like this. But even certain things that after I watched it in post, I was like, me as a director, I should have been able to articulate things a little better. So that's something that I took away from that, and I want to grow with, and I am growing with as I move forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So you put it out in June on YouTube. Why did you choose YouTube?
Honestly,
I'm just curious.
No, it's fine. Honestly, salad dressing was made for real footage.
Yeah.
It was made for real footage and just content. We all wanted to film something, and then we just kind of came together and we just like, okay, so like now we want people to see it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was. So it got great feedback from a lot of people that support me and support a lot of the other people that were involved with the production of it. But yeah, it was really just made for real footage. So YouTube was just the platform we chose.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Finally, just coming to a conclusion on the whole production. What did you take away? I know you talked a lot about the things you learned and stuff like that, but overall, what did you take away from that experience?
It should just be fun, honestly. Like, it's work, but it needs to be fun. It needs to be something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And do what you love with the people that love it and you love.
Yeah.
Do it with the people you love. Do something that you love. And you just want them to love it, or at least love that project enough to be able to see it to fruition.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
That's what I really learned at its core. That's what I learned.
Okay.
And I'm grateful to have had that.
Yes. What is next for the Kingtif Diva?
What is next? So I do still audition. So I do have a few projects from other people. Or the minds of other people that I'm working on. And then I'm in a web series that films down in Atlanta called Attached.
Wow.
I'm not really sure when that's going to drop, but I will keep y'all up to date.
Yes,
when it
absolutely.
will. And then I've been doing a lot of writing, so I have some things that I've written, and I do want to get a team together. You know, it was really hard to find a little brown-skinned, gap-tooth girl that could play a younger version of me, because I do have something I want to do, but I can't find a younger version of me. So, but hopefully, if anybody's watching, and you're a little brown-skinned, gap-tooth girl that could play a younger version of me, reach out.
Yes, absolutely.
So, but I have been writing ever since salad dressing. I think I probably fell in love with the writing component of it, because now I. And
that's what I was gonna ask you. That's what I was gonna ask you. What is the favorite part of this?
And I feel like it's changing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you came in wanting to act.
Yes.
Now you've developed. You've tried all these different things.
Yeah. That's so hard. It's so hard. It's fun. Pretending to be. You know, that's basically what acting is. In the most basic way of speaking, it's just pretending to be somebody else. So that is fun, but then also writing stories and then watching other people be able to act it out, because certain things that I've written now, I'm not even a big component of it. I would have more of a day player or a supporting role in it if I were to cast myself in it, because I just want to see these stories made. So a few collaborations with the people that I've mentioned, those are in the works, and then just also me just writing different things. So
absolutely.
I actually was casting for a web series that I wanted to film this summer, but just being honest and transparent, I did not get I didn't get auditions for the lead character, and that was an important role. So that made me just accept that it wasn't the time for it.
Right.
You know, I put everything out there that I could, but the lead character, I just didn't get anyone for the lead character.
What were you looking for?
It was a very specific casting.
Yeah.
But I actually needed someone that was Ghanaian or like West African.
Wow.
To play
Okay.
Ghanaian, because of the nature of the script.
Yeah.
I have to come back and tell you more about the script.
Got you. Okay.
But I didn't get any auditions for people that I had people that were interested in it, but they lived elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to try to work with people, at least Ohio locals, but really Cleveland locals, to be able to bring that to fruition. But it didn't happen, and there's no point of crying over spilled milk. It's written, and it's something that I would definitely move forward with. But you know, timing is always
absolutely number one thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything's about timing.
Yeah,
absolutely. Last thing, because you just said it, and I think it's interesting to talk about. What do you take on the space of film and production in Cleveland specifically? Ohio too, though.
Yeah, I think it's so I actually, being on both sides, I see like different angles. Okay, so the web series, I started the casting process, and then I sent out a professional email just letting the people who did audition, letting them know that production would be halted for a little bit, because I just want to make sure I get it right. And I had great feedback from people just let me know when you start again. I would still love to be a part of it. So that lets me know that people in Cleveland who are in these acting spaces, they want to work.
Yeah.
It's not just about the instantaneous, like, see me. I mean, you get some of that, but then you have people who really want to work and who are willing to collaborate and help you with their projects, with your project. So that's a positive component for me. And then just, it's also small. You see a lot of the same people, but then the collaboration and the unity, a lot of times for me, it's been overwhelming, and I appreciate it. I actually really like the film industry that is here in Cleveland, because I feel like it makes for great collaboration and progression. And Cleveland's really talented.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't, I guess it doesn't translate to the rest of the world, but I think Cleveland is very talented. So.
Absolutely. I agree. And the unity is important.
Yeah, it is.
And we can really push the culture forward.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think Cleveland is a gold mine,
Yes.
honestly, when it comes to entertainment and, you know, anything, because it's just, we have so much ingrained in us here. It's amazing. So yeah, is there anything else you would like to get off your chest before we get out of here?
No, I just want to thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
course.
I was really shocked when you asked me to be on here.
Really?
I was like, you want to hear me talk about salad dressing? But yeah, no, that was yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Just thank you.
And please don't let this be your last time.
No.
Anytime you have projects or anything, definitely reach out.
Okay.
We want to support you here. We want to support, you know, people doing really great things.
Thank you. See, that's that Cleveland collaboration.
Absolutely. It's the Kingtif Network. Thank y'all again.